Hey, I'm back. Hey, some days you're lucky, you get two videos in one. I just decided that I'd go ahead and make my stuffing ahead of time. So I'll do the preparation and then tomorrow I'll just bake it before I go. So let me give you the ingredients that I use. Now, stuffing, everybody has their own way of making it. It usually includes bread, breadcrumbs, sausage, nuts, vegetables. Everybody does theirs different. This is just my take on it. So for me, I love Chinese sausage. So I've gone ahead and used my trusty chopper to chop up the Chinese sausage, onions. This is a combination of celery and garlic, scallion, Scotch bonnet pepper, and some dried thyme. So this is kind of the base for it. I'll go ahead, get ready, and then I'll come back and we'll go ahead and start the process. Okay? Sorry, one main thing. I do use breadcrumbs. I don't use dried bread because I don't like it mushy, and that's just a thing with me. Okay? All right, we're back in a few minutes, okay? Okay, I'm back. So these are my main ingredients that I'm going to be making the stuffing with. You can use any oil you want, right? It doesn't matter. I just chose to use some olive oil I have mustard, ketchup, soy sauce, pickled pepper, oyster sauce, some red wine, some chicken stock, my sausage, and onion, celery, and thyme, pepper, and scallion. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to go ahead, add the oil, and I'm going to put the sausage in first. So not a lot, because the sausage is also it's fatty, so it will impart some of the fat in the oil. So maybe about 2 tablespoons of oil. So I'm just going to give that a second to come to a heat, and then we'll go ahead. Okay? Let's see. Yep. Okay. That chopper does a great job of, mincing up the ingredients for you, so you don't. It has to be finely chopped. So, having that saves a lot. And like the sausage will cook very quickly, within 30 seconds or so. It will cook. So then I'll go ahead and add the onions and the other ingredients and stir them around. Okay, so here we go. So I put the onions in first, along with the celery, the scallion, and the dry thyme. Everything is in. I'm going to stir this around. So as soon as that softens just a bit, I'm going to add some red wine. And then I'll add my chicken stock, and then I'll go ahead and start adding all the flavorings that I want in there. So mostly I'll taste for salt, but I tried, because the sausage has salt in there, I'll taste for salt last. There's also the chicken stock. So garlic powder, black pepper, and I'll use some oregano as well in mine. Okay? Okay, so now I'm going to add my red wine. Can be red or white. If I had white, I'd probably prefer to use white, but I don't have white wine. So maybe about a quarter cup. You know me, I love some wine in my food. Then I'll go ahead and we're going to add chicken stock. I'm going to have that come up to a boil again. Everything is uncovered in this. You're not going to be covering anything. So I just want it to come up to a nice boil. So I'll add a little bit of dark soy sauce. If I can open it. Just a touch. Not too dark. I'd add some oyster sauce. That's the last of that. And some ketchup. And this recipe is actually from my mom. She usually would use, like, bacon was her go-to. She'd use bacon as being her meat that she would use. She never put nuts or anything in her stuffing. So whatever I'm showing you is what she would have done. So each of these is not a lot. I mean, you know, maybe a tablespoon of this, tablespoon of that. You know how Auntie Annie cooks already. You know, Auntie Annie don't measure. And I'll go ahead and I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of margarine. Okay, so we're going to add the oregano, maybe about a teaspoon of oregano, and we're going to add some garlic powder and some black pepper. No salt yet, because I'll taste it and see if it needs salt. So we're going to go ahead and let this simmer down, let it kind of reduce a little bit, and then we'll go ahead. The last thing I'm going to be adding is the breadcrumbs. Right in, okay? Okay, I'm back. I'm just going to taste, just give it a quick taste to see if it needs any salt. Maybe just a touch. Maybe I would say just about a pinch. Just a pinch. I'm also going to add about a half a teaspoon of brown sugar. So I'm just going to let this go ahead and reduce a little bit more before I add it. It's all beginning to taste pretty nice. So I'm just going to reduce it a little bit more, and then when I come back, I'll show you how to put in the breadcrumbs. Okay? Okay, I'm back. If you can come and look, you'll see that it's reduced quite a bit. All right, so I boiled it for quite a few minutes. So I'm going to get ready to put in the breadcrumbs. Now, I'm going to turn down the fire to low before putting in the breadcrumbs in, and I'll take my time and add it, because you don't want to add too much and then it becomes really dry. And then at the end, I'll also add a little margarine after I've put it in. I've also put, instead of, I think I told you that it was chicken stock, but it was really vegetable stock that I use. Okay, so we're just going to start with a little bit first, and we're going to start to stir it around. Fire is really low. Sometimes what I do is just put it off the fire for a minute, because this thing can splash on you like crazy. So you want to be able to work that breadcrumbs in. Okay, so I'm going again. And you can use any kind of breadcrumbs you want. Whatever you want to do. You can use old stale bread if you want as well. But I just find that it's easier for me with the breadcrumbs. So just continue to work that in, work that in. So this can, I've gone about less than half, just a little less than half so far. So you'll know when it starts to stiffen a little bit, you know that you're okay. Like I said, breadcrumbs, everybody does theirs different. And, you know, me, I just like it like this because there's a texture thing. So keep working in, work it in, work it in, make sure it's all incorporated. It's getting hard to turn, so I know I'm almost getting to it. I just think it just needs one little bit more. So that's about half the can I've used now. So I'm stirring it, stirring it, stirring it, stirring it to make sure all of the ingredients have, you know, you don't see any of the breadcrumbs on it. So this, I've taken it off the fire to do it because it's much easier. So it's pretty well, I think it's pretty well done now. Maybe just one touch more and then that's it. And then I'm gonna get some margarine, just, or butter, whichever, and just put in there, and then that'll be it. So I'm gonna bring it back on the stove for just a minute and stir it. So I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm just gonna get some margarine and just put on it, and then that will be it. Okay? Yeah, so just a tablespoon of margarine, just to coat it around and makes it a little smoother. So we're going to go ahead and bake this. I usually bake it for about an hour. I cover it first and then I uncover it for the last 15 minutes to make sure that the breadcrumbs is cooked in properly. Okay. So I can turn off the fire now, and then I'll get my container that I'm going to bake it in, and Bob's your uncle. So what I'll do is that tomorrow after I bake it, I'll show you how it looks, okay? Okay, bye-bye. So you don't need to line the tin with any, the container that you're gonna bake it in with anything, because it has enough butter and margarine or whatever. It's fine, it won't stick. So I'll put it in there and then spread it around. Yeah, I'll put a picture in the chat once I've finished with it tomorrow. So that's it. So that's my recipe for stuffing. Hope you'll try it. Hope you can, like I said, you can use whatever meat of your choice you want, but it's really delicious, right? And it's part of what I look, the tradition at Christmas or Thanksgiving is looking forward to the stuffing. Okay, have a good one. Take care.